The Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G is the company's most premium offering yet, and just like last year's model, this new Ultra series also has a heavy focus on cameras. Now, you still get features such as a 108 megapixel primary sensor, up to a 100x zoom, and of course, 8K video recording. So, if you are into photography or even videography, this model is definitely the one that you should be keeping an eye on. However, this new model also comes at a slightly higher price compared to last year's S20 Ultra in India. So the big question is it really justified? Well, stay tuned till the end of the review to find out. But before we go ahead, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and also hit that bell icon so you're the first to know whenever we have a new video. Now, I've already covered the design and the specifications of the S21 Ultra 5G in our unboxing video, so don't forget to check that out if you haven't seen it. So for this review, I'll be focusing mainly on the cameras and the performance, since let's be honest, the cameras are the main reason you would pick the S21 Ultra model over the other S21 models in the series. But before we dive in, let's take a quick look at the two variants on the screen right now. Remember that there's no scope for expandable storage, so if you want to shoot lots of 8K videos, you might want to consider the higher storage variant. The Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra gets a new generation 108 megapixel primary camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide-angle camera, and two 10 megapixel telephoto cameras, one with 3x optical zoom and another with 10x. Samsung continues to market space zoom, which on the Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G goes all the way to 100x. Now, thanks to the new zoom lock feature, when you go beyond 20x magnification, the camera tries to identify the subject you're trying to focus on and locks focus if you're steady enough for 1.5 seconds or if you tap the little preview box. Now, this makes it much easier to shoot at a high zoom level. Image quality is noticeably sharper at the native optical zoom level compared to any other levels in between. At 100x, image quality is comparatively much weaker, but the AI processing does help in getting usable shots. Now in low light, the Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G will still use the telephoto cameras as much as possible despite their narrow apertures. The results are predictably poorer, but with night mode, you can get some pretty good shots. The Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G can also capture native 108 megapixel images from the main camera. However, I noticed that the image quality isn't the best if you try to crop something from this photo, and that you're better off using the telephoto cameras instead. Now, this holds true for shots taken in daylight as well as low light. However, the pixel-binned 12 megapixel photos from the main camera look excellent under good light. Dynamic range was good, there was plenty of details, and colors looked very natural. Autofocus also was very quick and precise thanks to the laser autofocus sensor. Close-up shots also looked very good with rich details and colors. The ultra-wide-angle camera is also fairly competent in my experience when it came to shooting landscape shots. In low light, the primary and ultra-wide-angle camera continue to impress even without night mode. However, you can expect better exposed images if you switch to night mode. Now, there's a new video shooting mode called Director's View, which offers a live preview from the ultra-wide main and the 3x telephoto cameras while recording, so you know what to expect before you switch. You can also enable a vlogger's view mode, which basically gives you a live feed from the selfie camera, either in a split screen or a picture-in-picture window. I personally didn't find much use for this shooting mode, but it's certainly a useful addition to have. Samsung has made some changes to the video recording capabilities in the S21 Ultra 5G, but it's still not as extensive as I would have liked. For instance, you can now shoot 4K 60fps video from any of the camera lenses. However, you cannot switch between these cameras once recording has begun, which is still a little limiting. For this, you need to shoot at 4K 30fps. Now, Samsung is still hyping 8K video recording, which is now stabilized, but with a heavily cropped frame. Video quality is fairly good in daylight, but it gets quite grainy in low light. Now, there's no limit to the recording length, which is good. However, the big disappointment for me is that the 8K video is still limited to a 24 FPS frame rate. Video quality overall though is very good in daylight with sharp details, good stabilization and natural colors. Videos also shot in poor lighting continue to impress even with a 3x telephoto camera. Overall, the Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G has a pretty impressive set of rear cameras, and each one of them actually has a pretty important role to play, unlike some smartphones out there with dedicated depth or macro cameras. Now, the selfie camera is equally competent here. It's a 40 megapixel sensor which has autofocus and can shoot 4K 60 FPS stabilized videos. Image quality is very good in daylight and equally good in low light, especially with night mode. Now with cameras out of the way, let's get into the performance of the Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G. Now in India, you get the Exynos 2100 SoC compared to the Snapdragon 888 in other countries. Now both are 5nm chips with similarly configured ARM CPU cores. The Exynos 2100 posted some impressive benchmark scores and it was able to handle gaming very well too in my experience. It easily ran graphically intensive titles such as Call of Duty Mobile and even Asphalt 9 Legends at the Quad HD Plus resolution. Gameplay was also smooth with solid frame rates. Now I did notice that the upper half of the metal frame did get quite hot very quickly when gaming, which is more noticeable without a case. In fact, this heating was also noticeable when using the camera app. Now the phone never got uncomfortably hot for me and neither did it seem to throttle performance, but your mileage could vary. The Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G doubles up as an excellent device for media consumption. The 6.8-inch AMOLED display gets incredibly bright and colors look rich and punchy. And the Quad HD Plus resolution also offers very good sharpness, which is useful if you do a lot of reading on your phone. The biggest new feature, as I mentioned in the unboxing video, is that you can now use 120Hz refresh rate at the native Quad HD resolution. The refresh rate is also now adaptive, which means when no touch input is detected or if you're watching a video, it will automatically scale down to 60Hz. Videos in general looked great on the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G's display. Watching dark scenes in movies wasn't really a problem as the AMOLED panel can achieve impressive black levels. Audio from the stereo speakers was also very good thanks to the Dolby Atmos enhancement. Other flagship features include an IP68 rating for dust and water resistance and a new generation ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. In my experience, this fingerprint sensor worked very well. All that's needed is a quick tap for a successful authentication. Face recognition is also available and is equally reliable. Now I found battery life to be pretty solid too. The 5000 mAh battery easily lasts for more than a full day of heavy to medium usage. With lighter use, I was able to prolong the battery life to a little more than a day and a half. The phone also lasted for about 15 hours and 37 minutes in our HD video loop test, which is a good sign. Now I tried charging the S21 Ultra with a 27-watt adapter and even a 65-watt adapter, and in both cases I was able to get about a 70% charge in an hour. Now it can also wirelessly fast charge with a compatible charger, and reverse wireless charging is also present. Now the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G supports up to 25-watt fast charging. However, you will have to buy this power adapter from Samsung separately or even a third-party vendor, since Samsung doesn't bundle the power adapter in the box anymore. The Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G runs One UI 3.1, which works smoothly with no real hint of lag or slowdowns. This is Samsung's latest custom skin, which is based on Android 11, and it looks and feels quite slick. Now I did get some spam notifications from the Samsung Shop app when I first began using it, despite unchecking all the boxes to not receive marketing information, but this stopped after a day or two of usage. However, what I didn't expect to see were third-party ads in some of Samsung's own apps such as the weather and game launcher. Now these are static ads that aren't really intrusive, but something that you shouldn't really have to see on such an expensive phone. The Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G packs in a lot of features, but all of this comes at a slight cost of ergonomics. It's a lot more top-heavy compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and you can feel this imbalance even with two-handed usage. Now, having said that, the new design looks great and it feels super premium, much more than the S20 Ultra in fact, which I'm quite happy about. Samsung may have bumped up the price of all of its phones this year in India, but the Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G in particular is still worth the premium in my opinion. It offers better value compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, is similarly powerful, and has one of the best telephoto camera implementations in the market. Now add to that the excellent build quality, great display, strong battery life, and productivity features such as support for S Pen easily makes this the best Samsung flagship to date. So that's been it for my review of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G. Let me know what you think about this phone in the comments below. And do you think it's really worth the premium that Samsung is charging in India? As always, thanks for watching, and for everything tech, log on to gadgets360.com.